Ghostface calls, the franchise's greatest unsolved mystery. Ghostface phone calls are the lifeblood of the Scream saga. From the very first film in 1996, those sinister, flirtatious, and ultimately threatening calls set the tone for what followed. The voice on the line, anonymous, taunting, and disturbingly playful, became as iconic as the mask itself. But fans have long pointed out one major flaw: no one in the movies ever manages to trace Ghostface calls. From Scream, 1996 through Scream 4, 2011, the killer's ability to call victims without being detected stretches credibility, especially as technology advances. By the early 2000s, caller ID, phone tracing, and cell tower triangulation were all commonplace, yet every Ghostface somehow evaded them effortlessly. It became a glaring inconsistency, one that audiences accepted only because those eerie calls were too integral to the franchise's atmosphere to question too closely. It wasn't until Scream, 2022, and Scream 6, 2023, that the films finally acknowledged the problem. The rebooted sequels modernized Ghostface tactics, showing him cloning phones, spoofing caller IDs, and even hacking smart home systems. These touches added a fresh digital edge, but by then, MTV Scream had already explored this territory 7 years earlier. MTV Scream brings tech horror to the small screen. Unlike the film's Scream, the TV series took place not in Woodsboro but in the seemingly ordinary town of Lakewood. Its story followed teenager Emma Duval, who finds herself stalked by a new masked killer known as the Lakewood Slasher. Right from its 2015 debut, the series leaned into modern digital fears, not just phone calls, but text messages, social media, and hacked security systems. The Lakewood Slasher didn't merely taunt victims over the phone. He weaponized technology to blur the lines between safety and surveillance. In one early episode, the killer makes a chilling call to Rachel Murray, disguising his voice and spoofing the number of Rachel's girlfriend, Audrey Jensen. Believing she's speaking to someone she loves, Rachel follows the killer's instructions, only to be lured to her death. The scene is unsettling not only for its violence, but also for its realism. It's exactly the kind of digital manipulation that makes modern audiences shudder. Later episodes expand on this idea. The killer impersonates a home security technician, clones phones, and even hijacks live video feeds to terrorize the main cast. These tactics don't just modernize the Scream formula, they make it believable. Smart characters, smarter killers. One of the strengths of the MTV adaptation was its acknowledgement that modern teens are tech-savvy. Characters like Noah Foster, the group's horror geek and resident hacker, often use their digital knowledge to counter the killer's attacks. But even Noah's intelligence can't always keep up. The Lakewood Slasher is always one step ahead, manipulating technology and exploiting privacy in ways that feel disturbingly plausible. Season 2 takes the concept even further. The killer blackmails Audrey with information from her secret past, using text messages and hidden files to control her every move. The show cleverly transforms digital communication into both a weapon and a weakness, a reflection of how horror itself has evolved in the age of connectivity. Years ahead of its time. By the time Scream, 2022, hit theaters, it finally embraced what MTV Scream had already mastered, a Ghostface who understood how to use technology to stalk, deceive, and terrorize. The film's opening scene, with Tara trying to lock her doors via smartphone as Ghostface hacks the system, felt new to moviegoers, but longtime fans recognized the blueprint. MTV Scream may have been polarizing, but it deserves credit for updating the franchise's DNA. It modernized the series without losing the paranoia, mystery, and dark humor that defined the original. Most importantly, it solved the long-standing problem that haunted Scream for decades, showing exactly how a killer could make those terrifying phone calls without breaking believability. Conclusion. While Scream, the TV series never reached the cultural heights of the original films, it remains an underrated entry that dared to evolve the franchise. By grounding its horror in the realities of modern technology, the show didn't just fix a plot hole, it redefined what Ghostface could be in the digital age. 7 years before the movies caught up, MTV Scream quietly proved that the franchise's most haunting weapon wasn't the mask or the knife. It was the phone itself.